truth!
Hey everybody, Jesus loves you. My name's Cody, and you're watching the Thursday episode of that Christian news show thing that I do. And real quick before I get into the news stories, I know I've been stressing it a lot, but Daniel Cassidy still needs t-shirt votes. If she wins this t-shirt contest, she'll be giving money away to charity, so it's kind of a big deal. And if you voted already, you can vote again every day. So just go to the link that I leave in the description below, log into Facebook, click the vote button, and you're done. So it's pretty easy to do, and it's for a good reason. Helps against cancer, so I mean, it's kind of a big deal. And as many of you know, yesterday was Ash Wednesday, starting out the 40-day Lent period that Christians do. If you don't know what Lent is, it's pretty much where a bunch of Christians go and they just sacrifice something for 40 days. Most people fast different foods. A lot of people do chocolate, and I celebrate Lent, but I don't condemn anyone who doesn't do it because it's not something that must be done. It's just kind of a symbolic thing that I like to do. And on Ash Wednesday, a lot of people go to churches and they get like ash cross on their face, little region. Right there. I actually didn't go to service to do that. But if you live in Ohio, you can go to a drive-through church to do it. I know I've talked about drive-through churches before, and it's really weird. But I mean, it is kind of cool in that same way. Mount Healthy United Methodist Church in Ohio is going to be doing this. And all you're going to do is you're going to drive through the kind of like visitor drop-off center, and they're going to give you ashes, and you can drive on through it completely free, because that would be weird, but not surprising. It's for those people that are just really busy, but really want to still follow Christ, but they don't have time to do all the things that they want to do. And that's one side of my mind, but the other side of my mind goes, you can't take the time off to go to a church service to just get a mark on your head. I mean, it's usually like an hour-long service, but I do realize how busy life can be with job, school, and different things like that. So, cool if they're doing this. I don't think it's something that people just necessarily aim to go to, but if you're too busy and this is all you have, then take it. Props to these guys, that is awesome. I talked way back in November about a drive-through prayer, so this is kind of similar to that. I hope that churches don't start all having this. So I hope it's not like a huge thing that like everybody starts doing this drive-through church thing, but for the people that need it, it is kind of cool to have. And our next story is really important. Youssef Nurdarkani is a 34-year-old father and pastor in Iran, and he was arrested 2 years ago and is now being persecuted to death. Iran works under an Islamic law, and the law in Iran states that if you are Islamic, you can't switch from being Islamic and still live in Iran. And this guy became a Christian, so he was sent to jail for deciding to not be Islamic anymore. And this is really crazy to think about. It has been in the news quite a bit, but I haven't really talked about it because it was nothing for sure going on. They didn't have very specific details of what was going on, but they went through lots of court trials. They gave him chances to recant. According to Iranian law, you have 3 chances to recant, which just means you go back to being Islamic. He said no to that, and they said, well, just say that Muhammad was a prophet. That's not a big deal, and he said, no, he's not a prophet. I'm not going to say that either. And now he's sentenced to death, which is crazy. And he's not the only one. There's been a lot of people that have died because of this type of stuff. But because this has been brought to the public, a lot of people are taking notice to it. And even if you're watching this and you're not a Christian, you have to agree that someone shouldn't be killed for their beliefs. So prayers for his family. He has 2 kids and a wife that he's going to be leaving because of this. It is really sad, and it's an eye-opener of how the world is outside of America. Also in the news today is Franklin Graham. Franklin Graham is Billy Graham's son. He's a reverend of his own church. And the reason he's in the news today is because he said that Obama isn't Christian, like many other conservative Republicans say. And with the link in the description below to the news story, I'm also going to leave a link to this guy that has a channel called The Pursuit Blog. He talked about this and I agreed with him almost full-heartedly. So go check that out when you're done. And I can kind of see where Franklin Graham is coming from because Obama doesn't outspokenly talk about Christianity all the time. But when Barack Obama does talk about Christianity, he is pretty solid in his biblical information. He talks what the Bible teaches, and you can kind of tell that he's strong in his faith. And I think a lot of people say that he's not Christian just because he's not a conservative Republican. And Franklin Graham goes on to say that Islamists look at him and call him the son of Islam. And that is just because his father is Muslim. But to say that Obama is Muslim is kind of weird to me because he does have Christian values and he says he's a Christian. And it's just really judgmental America getting in there and going, no, you're not, when we have no room to say it whatsoever. And on the other hand, a poll says that Rick Santorum's Christian talk may win him the election. More than half of America's population is Christian, so it does make sense that if someone talks about the Christianity, that they're going to be voted for in that way. And it's even a higher percent of Republicans that are Christian. So it does make sense that a lot of Christians want to hear a president who talks about Christianity. To me, it all sounds like politics. Republicans love to hear someone talk about Christianity, so the Republican candidate talks about Christianity. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but in Greek, poly means many, and ticks is an American word for blood-sucking insects. And I said that with the straightest face that I could. And you guys probably have heard that before, but it is. It's just politics to me. It seems like a bunch of people saying what people want to hear them say. But I kind of want to hear what you guys say about Christianity and elections. How does people talking about Christianity or lack of Christianity affect the way you vote? Whether you be Christian or atheist, I figure it should affect you in some way. If 5 more subscribers answer the question of the day, then I will give a $10 gift card to c2a.com or amazon.com to a random subscriber that I choose. So go do that and we'll go to the verse of the day. And the verse today is Mark 12:17. And Jesus said to them, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God's what is God's." And they were amazed by him. And I know there's a lot of Christians that don't like the idea of separating church and state, but be a Christian, live a Christian life, and everybody should too, regardless of politics. Let the country be a free country, and then you give to God what is God's, and people will follow. That was all that I found interesting in the news today. So in closing, haters keep hating, Christians keep praying, and to everybody like and subscribe. I will see you Monday, and God bless.